Titan Rune Dungeons are here, and they're the perfect way to catch up on your gear. Every boss drops epic items, which means you can pump up your character in a matter of hours. But these dungeons are actually hard, which means you'll want the secret strategies and add-ons to make things go smoothly. Plus, you'll want to know which bosses actually drop the epics you want, so I'll provide a loot list later in the video. The first thing you should do before touching Titan Rune Dungeons is to grab a weakaura pack. This pack from my friend PetX below the video has alerts for all the mechanics. I'd also recommend sharing this with your group before you head in, since most players don't know the best strategies for the new mechanics. Wait, you don't know the best strategies either? Alright, first, slow down your pull speeds and amounts. If your tank is double pulling everything and rushing through the dungeon, you're in for a long night. The faster you pull, the quicker you'll be dealing with the new mechanics and getting overwhelmed. Remember that big pulls aren't more dangerous because of the increased mob damage and health. They're more dangerous because you'll be dealing with more Titan Rune mechanics at the same time, like web wraps, glaciate, and illusions. Dungeon secrets. For Oculus, Violet Hold, and Nexus, priority should be nuking down the packs while your healer smacks the illusions. For Halls of Stone and Lightning, the debuff only applies near melee range of the mobs, which means a melee-based group is preferred. For Ahn'Qehed and Old Kingdom, using a weakaura is really helpful to alert you to who's web wrapped. Also, releasing tanks from web wrap is your #1 priority since they'll drop aggro. For Utgard Keep and Utgard Pinnacle, you should only move when you have Glaciate and make sure not to stand in any frost patches left by other players. Another nice tip is that you can mark your healer so nobody walks into him and puts down a frost patch while he's healing. Meanwhile, for Calling of Stratholme, just bring a priest, a paladin, or a shaman to quickly remove the ghoul debuff. Subscribe, like the video, and hit the notification bell so we can make Blizzard give druids a disease removal skill. For Gundrak and Drak'Tharon Keep, your tank has to be on point with a weakaura to get the mobs out of the lifesteal buff. This dungeon is really hard since the debuff lingers for a few seconds and heals the mobs to full. Also, DK tanks are pretty rough here since the pool kinda looks like Death and Decay. Now let's talk about actually forming your group. People are going to gatekeep you and require 4,000 plus gear score. It even happened to me. But you don't need this whatsoever. I grouped with multiple players below 3,300 and the runs didn't take longer. If you're worried about getting rejected, you have two options. Option 1 is to farm PvP Furious or Hateful gear and buy blues on the auction house. You can get 3,500 gear score in less than 2 days as a great starting point. And option 2 is to make your own groups. Even with lower gear score, you'll find things still go smoothly as long as everybody's using weakaura shouting out the mechanics. And you should remember that tanks and healers are the most important for Titan Rune mode. As long as those players have some gear, your clear should go fine. Also, do try to bring somebody with enchanting. Because you'll be generating so many epics and blues, there's a lot of extra gold to be made by disenchanting unneeded items. You've got your group, now make sure to pick up the daily heroic quest and normal dungeon quest for free emblems. Then after you do the daily heroic, you can pick and choose which dungeon to hit up next for free loot. I like to use my loot sheet below the video to plan out which heroics to visit each day. Just make sure you set up your group with the right classes so you can get that sweet Surge Needle ring. And then check out my guide to gear up fast without any raiding needed. That's right, 0 raids.